universe, where you learn the secrets of the social media through the social universe, and in many cases, you learn the secrets of the universe itself. This is Kurt Wilhelm, your host of the Social Universe here on Voice American World Talk Radio, and we are talking advertising and sushi today. So if you are interested in how to advertise your business, or if you have a restaurant, you want to kind of get some pointers on how to get the word out about your business very inexpensively. If you think about the segment that we talked about in our previous segment, for those of you who are just tuning in, or those of you who are kind of processing it and took great notes, all of that, everything that we just talked about, there's no fees up front, and it doesn't cost you for the advertising until you earn the money. There's no better advertising out there, and they aren't making you steeply discount like Groupon and I don't even like to compare Value Card to Groupon and Living Social, because they're actually not even in the same category. It just so happens that the only cross comparison is 10% versus having to give up 75 to 77%. If you're looking at comparing the effectiveness of a model, the Value Card model is so much more powerful. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about how we found the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar, located on 5234 North 27th Avenue, with Joses, who is with us today. So welcome again to our segment. You're welcome. First of all, I just can't get over, because it's still sitting in my stomach, this amazing lunch, and it is sitting there and feels really good. So, you know, sometimes you have a meal that sits well and you have a meal that doesn't sit well. And especially for me, I don't know if it's all psychological, but fish doesn't sit well in my stomach. But this is a well-setting meal. It just feels comfortable, it feels good. And so that's, to me, another sign of good, healthy food, is that if it's healthy going in and it sits well and you're not having a reaction against it in some way or another. It's just gives you a good feeling of well-being. So definitely good job as a chef there and as the owner of the restaurant. Service was wonderful. I just can't say enough about the restaurant. So having said that, one of the things that was actually confusing to both Joses and Jose was how we found them to bring them on the show, and how we found them to help them market, and why it is it's not costing them anything. Is it costing anything?
No.
It's not costing anything to come on the show. It didn't cost him anything to join Value Card Alliance, and it's also not going to cost him anything to do what I'm about to share with you today. So there's three massive forms of advertising that have come to the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar, again located at 5234 North 27th Avenue, and the phone number if you want to call and check things out, 602-361-9296. So if you are a person who is a little bit confused about how things happen out there in the real world, you just have to look at how you want them to happen in the real world. So the first thing that happens in the real world is word of mouth. I think we'd all agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Friends tell friends. And that was what social media was supposed to be about, friends telling friends. And then Mark Zuckerberg got really angry that businesses actually wanted to tell people about something, and that really made him mad. And, you know, we know the whole situation there. He's constantly fighting businesses who want to tell people about stuff. But stalk women, hey, we're good to go. If you're a Mark Zuckerberg fan, then stalk all the women, no problem. Try to tell somebody about your business, and he doesn't like you anymore. So the point is this, is that social media is word of mouth, but it's really hard to track effectiveness. Well, Trusted Team is a new form of social media that puts them all to shame. The Trusted Team is a product that is relatively new to the market. We ourselves interviewed Brandon Barnum, the creator of Trusted Team, on the show about 4 months ago now, and we have received massive referrals ever since. We've on an average increased our monthly referral generation by 2,000% as a result of Trusted Team. So what is so unique about Trusted Team, and what does that have to do with the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar? And how does it all interact with Value Card Alliance? So let me kind of share with you the evolution of how I came across Joses yesterday at the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar. I actually was working with a referral from Value Card Alliance, and they referred me to Jesse's Actually, Jesse's the owner of Nessie's Auto, and Nessie's Auto does some unique things. For example, at absolutely no cost to me, they painted shadow flames on my wife's car. She now calls it her Hot Wheels, and in exchange for that, all they wanted to do was put advertising on her back window saying, "This is Nessie's Auto. They did this work." A fair exchange. People ask about it all the time, and because she calls it her Hot Wheels, and my wife is actually a very hot woman, it all works, and it was great advertising, and I think I'm okay with my wife being idolized in this fashion. But the point is there's a little bit of barter and trade that goes on in that way. And so Value Card Alliance referred me to Jesse's, and we actually needed some car work. I'm embarrassed to admit that somebody, well, I shouldn't be embarrassed, somebody hit my car in from the back, and so we needed some work, and Value Card Alliance referred us to Jesse at Nessie's Auto. While we were there, and he was fixing our car, and of course painting the flames, these amazing shadow flames, I got into a conversation with him about Trusted Team. And Trusted Team, as we all talked about, is a way to get the word out through word of mouth, and to organize the science of word of mouth. Social media, all it does is give a megaphone to word of mouth, but it doesn't organize or shape the word of mouth. It tries, but it can't. It's a mess. Trusted Team is extremely organized. If you want to check it out, go to www.bizgrowth.trustedteam.com. If you wanted to see a video about it, put a /start, and then you don't have to hear me yapping about it. You can hear the actual creator of the product talking about it, and he'll share with you how it's very simple, very organized. But in its simplicity, the beauty is it outdistances all the complex things I've ever seen, and it gets down to the bottom line of how do we refer business back and forth. 3 ways. And this is one of the ways is by word of mouth. So Jesse hired me through Value Card to go get the word out about his business. And so I was able to utilize Jesse's name as I go across different businesses, and I'm uniting them to create a local marketing group. So Wasabi Room Sushi Bar is going to be joining Nessie's Auto Trusted Team. Nessie's Auto targets all the individuals. They are a consumer-based product. Actually, no, they do commercial work as well. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. And but as I worked with Jesse, and then I worked with his neighboring businesses, it benefits me and it benefits him. It benefits me because I'm able to invoke the name of Jesse at Nessie's Auto, who is just around the corner, and I'm able to go into business owners and tell them, look, Nessie's Auto is paying for the advertising for you to join the local marketing group, and it doesn't cost you anything to join because he's paying for it, and then you're going to advertise together. So Nessie's is going to advertise you, we're going to advertise Nessie's, and we're all going to market each other. So now you have 25 to 50 business owners that are all marketing to the same 5 to 10 mile radius around all of your local retail stores. So I'll say that again. What Trusted Team does is it unites your 25 to 50 business owners in one particular area. You can design it however you want, but this is how we came to find Wasabi Room Sushi Bar. And so it just so happened that Wasabi Room Sushi Bar was one of the 25 to 50 businesses that are in a close vicinity to Nessie's Auto, and so they are one of the lucky 25 to 50 businesses that are going to be marketing together with Nessie's Auto, and Nessie's Auto is paying us to go do that. And part of the way that we're being paid is by getting referrals. So for example, when I walked into, and we have a new guest coming on the show a little bit later, another member that's going to be joining Nessie's Auto Trusted Team group is Sun Devil Fire, Security and Fire. If anybody's in the Phoenix area, you see those beautifully vehicle wrapped trucks. That's a great way to advertise, by the way. And they have 80 trucks that drive around the Arizona, and so it's the best advertising ever. It's well branded, and they kind of laugh about how that's all advertising they need. I mean, everybody knows Sun Devil Security and Fire, and they don't need branding better than that. But what they do need is good word of mouth networking. So they network on a regular basis, and that's what Trusted Team does. So Nessie's Auto, their dream business would be to team up. I mean, imagine yourself as Jesse's Auto. A quarter of a mile away from you is a company who has 80 vehicles, and he's Jesse's Auto, Nessie's Auto. The owner, Jesse, is the owner of Nessie's Auto. Isn't that exactly what you want? Is to team up on your team to market with a company who's your exact target market. 80 trucks, I happen to fix cars. Isn't that a good fit? Okay, we see the light. So the point is that if you take your Trusted Team, not only are you going to find people who market, a good example is Wasabi Room Sushi Bar. So I'll bet you Jesse is going to come eating at Wasabi Room Sushi Bar, and I'll bet you Sun Devil Security and Fire, you know, they've got 80 trucks with 80 guys, and very good chance we can get them coming into your restaurant. So all of this is something that's free. So it looks like we're getting very close to going to break. I want to give Jose the ability to share contact information again, and also anything. Of course, I've tended to talk a lot on this segment about how we found him, but that Trusted Team concept, I'm telling you, it brings things out of the woodwork, and not to mention that in everything we talked about, I won't tell you which is which, but there's a good chance for me to be able to pull in $300,000 or $400,000 worth of business. That's how I get paid on this whole thing. So it's all a wonderful, wonderful group. So Jose, tell us about the Wasabi Room contact information one more time.
Yes, the address is 5234 North 27th Avenue. It's Camelback, North 27th Avenue, a little bit south Missouri. And the phone number is 602-361-9296. And the happy hour is really good, from 3 to 7 every day. Mm-hmm. And there is lunch specials from 10 to 12.
Make sure you check those out. Those are absolutely wonderful. So now don't go away. When we come back, we are going to talk a little bit more about how to get the word out about your business, and also some of the specialty things that make Wasabi Room Sushi Bar the best place on earth. Don't go away. We will come back right after the break. This is Kurt Wilhelm, your host of the Social Universe here on World Talk Radio. We'll be right back.